Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Sheffy. How's everybody doing tonight? One last time before your trip? Yeah, at least one last time. Appreciate you being here, Alpha One. I don't know if I'm going to go live. I'll be here tomorrow morning, but I might have some other work I need to get done. I kind of like going live. It's a totally different dynamic, that's for sure. We're going to talk about Tron Dapps. We're going to talk about future Tron Dapps. All right. Hey, Crypto Sounds, how's it going? How's it going? How is it going? I'm trying to. There we go. Hello, everybody. Here, hello, everybody. 10% a day. Oh, come on. That ain't gonna last no time. 10% a day. What are you talking about? Yeah, Alpha One. Usually I like to do the opposite the market's doing. You know what I did today? Let me show you something. I actually just bought some Dootron. I just bought some. But what I did today over here, this is 888. When the market zigs, I usually want to zag. So right here, I did this earlier this afternoon, and then I went to dinner with my family and was like, wow, that worked out better than I thought it did. It had to be over here when I did it because I had put in this is a 5-minute chart. So we had all this stuff going on. I put in a 2,000 ante to sell, to buy, not ante, sorry, 2,888 to buy at 7. And at the time it was somewhere over here, in the middle range. And then I said I wanted it to sell, I think it was at 8.5, 8.5. Did we hit 8.5? Because it sold. It's 8.5. Maybe it was at 8 1/3. No, it had to be. I'd have to go back and look at it. Well, heck, we can go down here and look at it. I thought we could see it. I don't see it. Anyway, I had 2,000 to sell, and what ended up happening was and I also put in I thought, worst case scenario, I'm going to sell 2,000 up here because it's not going to go all the way to 7. And that's okay. Then I would put the 4,000 I'm sorry, the 4,000 to buy at 7. And so I ended up, when I was gone, my buy order went in, it wrote it all the way up, and then my sell order hit. And I made like, a couple thousand or so, like 3,000-4,000, whatever it was, TRX. I was like, wow, look at that. I was looking at my wallet. I was like, where did that come from? What's up, crypto gangs? Do is a move, especially with these prices. Oh, I bought Do. Look at this. Here's the thing. I actually unfroze some this morning because I wanted to. You all know I go heavy whenever I go into something heavy for me. So I come over here and I had some. I got some unfrozen this morning. I had it at 30,000 even, and then there's another order went through, and then I had well, here we go. Freeze. This is a no-brainer. I've got more now frozen than what I had this morning, and I bought that 5,000 or so, and I did it. I just happened to come over here to look at Kiwi Dex because I knew I had that unfrozen, and I wasn't going to give it away. I look at Kiwi Dex. That's the way to. I think that's the way to prevent panic sales in this space, Cross. It's mind-blowing to me at how people panic. Like, it is mind-blowing. So, here we are with Do. Okay, I've been informed. Here we are with Do 2.6. See, I bought it at 2.8 a while ago. I bought it at 2. I bought like 3 orders right up. I came right down here and was like, boom, buy. 284 was my first order. Buy. And it went. It's kind of crazy that it's selling right now because if you think about it, it's getting about 2.5. We already got dividends coming in. Crypto Gangs. That's funny. Do what you got to do. 0.24 Tron. So if it hits 2 Tron, that's a guaranteed 25%. Just by buying it and freezing it. You're going to get a guaranteed 25%. And you got to ask yourself, like, how much lower can it go? Like, it's kind of crazy. I mean, this space, I didn't realize is beyond rational. Like, beyond, I guess the right word is beyond irrational. It's kind of crazy. Well, even 888 is, I mean, the only reason it makes sense to me to sell 888, the only reason that I can think of right now is because you're getting ready for a TronCrush. But it's a little bit early. You might as well collect some divs, even though divs are kind of low. So maybe that's why they exit. I mean, maybe that's why they're like, maybe they're not exiting because divs are low. Maybe they're exiting because it's hard to get out when you know there's a good div payout coming. At least that would be my rationale. But then again, people are turning over. Let's think about it. If it was 3 Tron right now, then you'd be walking out of what, about 12-13% guaranteed dividend. So somewhere between 25 to a 13% guaranteed dividend by tonight at midnight, assuming this goes up no more. But I gotta tell you, this jackpot is flying up, which tells me there's a lot of people playing right now. A lot of people playing. So it's who knows? Who knows? It's not logical. The only I bought that due, and the only regret that I had when I bought it was I was like, man, that price is coming back down on 888. I might get another chance to buy at 7 or even lower. Buy down here. And because here's the thing, the cheaper you get the token, worst case scenario, I get stuck with the token. I don't think the business is dead. I don't think there's gonna like never be anyone over here gambling. So at the end of the day, you're going to be earning something. Ideally. Not unless they all consolidate in one area. Paul, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the super chat. I appreciate that. Do only has one game, DT. Do only has one game. Yeah, I do think 888 should have implemented that freeze function for sure. It doesn't make any sense to me that they didn't. That's the thing. I would like to sell off some of my 888, but it's kind of hard when those prices are so low. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I have 8,000. I don't know what I have, 8,000 or 9,000 now. I mean, I would like to get rid of about maybe 4,000 or 5,000 of them and just hold on to the rest indefinitely, but it's kind of hard to think about getting rid of them. Been mining anti-undo. Yeah, I agree with that about no mining on Dootron. No auto is huge. That's the thing about TronCrush. I'm looking forward to this because we're going to be able to get in right like second one if we want at launch. And the thing is, it's going to be crazy. I mean, last night when I made that first video, if you go look at my channel, my second to last video, I talked about TronCrush, which one of you all mentioned that to me last night. Is bankroll legit? Timothy, let me ask you, what do you mean by legit? That's what I want to know. When you say legit, that can mean a whole bunch of things. What do you mean by legit? They had about 500 and something registered. Now it's doubled. So this is going to be nuts. I mean, if anyone is crazy enough to play in this pond, and I'm going to be crazy enough to play in this pond, my opinion, not your opinion. Don't be dumb enough to take financial advice from anyone on YouTube. But my opinion is, it's just go in hard and fast and collect divs, because I think it's going to get crazy. You got to pre-register on the website to get the 1.1 bonus. The 0.1 bonus. I mean, if you think about it, that 0.1 bonus is like a 10% guarantee off the top. So Yes, Timothy, bankroll will 100% end. If you're asking me, is it legit as in it doesn't end? It is a 100% end. And Cross is right. No one knows if it will exit scam or not. But even if it doesn't exit scam, by its very nature, the word sustainability does not mean that it could go on forever. Yes, they could exit, Timothy. Um, and to some degree, a lot of people could exit. I mean, I don't know, like even TronCrush, they got this thing on chain, which you'll probably be able to see the transactions happening on the chain, which looks very awesome. They got this whole thing about fairness, and they're encouraging, letting you know that it's provably fair, which is great. But who knows? I mean, how do you know they couldn't access the Tron wallet or whatever and just run off with the wallet? I mean, who knows? I'm in Tron Bank, Timothy, and I even got a link in the description on this video, but this live stream. But let me just tell you, this whole thing about it being sustainable, like it can last forever, that is just not true. XRP. Come on, Danny G. Don't go there. XRP. Piece of shit. So the thing about this whole thing about bankroll being sustainable, I mean, I keep talking about this, I guess because it keeps coming up. Bankroll by its very design will end. Dario, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. This whole thing is gonna, like, bankroll is gonna end. Let me go look at bankroll. I mean, I almost feel like I need to break out my MS Paint and draw a crude picture for you guys. XRP. Yeah, bankroll's over 80 million. That's beautiful, but that doesn't mean it's going to end. That it can't end. I actually think that I think there's a sweet spot to growth, and I think their speed of growth may be their undoing. Because if the whales come in the way they have, if they just stop putting in, they all instantly start withdrawing, that becomes a strong pull against the contract. If the whales aren't playing bank luck, then it doesn't matter how many little guys are playing bank luck. And I mean, I'm in here. Like, I got a link in the description, but I'm telling you, this nonsense about it's going to somehow be sustainable, last forever, that's the thing that makes me the most uneasy about this platform. I'm like, what Kool-Aid are the devs drinking? Like, it's not even logical, and they have to know that it's not logical. They designed a contract, so that makes it feel dishonest, and that bugs me. I mean, then if they get questioned on it, it's like, well, it's not sustainable like forever, but it's sustainable. Like, you got to think about it. Yeah, but Danny G, that's true for a lot of things. I mean, Tron Double's the same way. I love Tron Double. You're right in what you're saying. It's a game, right? It's a withdrawal contract. Yeah, I know. I heard that, Cross. I thought, okay, so the sustainability project is based off the number of people who die and lose their keys. So what you're telling me is the bigger this is, the more people are going to be withdrawing. So by that logic, we need a lot more people to die or lose access to their funds by losing their private key in order for this to sustain itself. Now, if that's not some morbid BS, I don't know what is. So it's about understanding your competition. Absolutely, Timothy Lee. It's about understanding how to get in and get out. And no, it's a game. It's like a funnel contract, or it's like I call it a withdrawal contract, because it's legit in the fact of it's a smart contract. At least I'm assuming it is. This one's not even verified. So I guess we can assume that it is. Here's the contract. You can take a look at it, but I don't even know what that will take you to. I guess it's on TronScan. But I don't know that we can really tell anything about the code. I can't tell anything about the code, I guess. It's kind of crazy that there's 81 million Tron in it. I mean, that is kind of crazy. Yeah, but you know what's interesting? What's going to be more interesting than that? More interesting than DR. I know, right? Crypto Greece is crazy, right? No, in order to win, in order to make money on it, you just kind of got to be in first, and you can't get greedy. You cannot keep reinvesting. One of my friends, Chris, what he does is he comes in and he'll reinvest for like a week or 2 weeks, depending on how long he thinks it might last. How sustainable is sustainability based off of how long he thinks the longevity is. He doesn't mean sustainability like it's going to sustain forever. He'll just reinvest for a week or 2 weeks, and then he never puts nothing else in it. He went into P3T like whatever it was 2 or 3 months ago in the first 30 days, and he went in there. He redeposited for about 2 weeks, and then no matter how long it lasted, how big it got, he didn't get greedy. He just withdrew whatever came out. That's the key. Yeah, Cross, that's right. I mean, that's the general. I mean, yeah, reinvesting. I mean, that's true. I mean, if you don't reinvest, you're better off. But you know, I'm not gonna lie. I reinvested this. I think I came in with 16, and then I added and reinvested until I was up to about 30. I thought I was gonna get to about 50, but I thought, no, this is good enough. All the hype, and to be honest with you, I kept hearing the sustainability. I mean, the fact that there are people who have put their face on YouTube and said it was sustainable and left it open-ended, I'm like, no, that's not cool, man. That's just not cool. I'm not cool with that. The most Timothy, you can debate all you want to the amount of reinvestments. If you have a crystal ball and knows how long it lasts, then there are methods where you can reinvest for like 45 days or 60 days, and you'll be substantially ahead over like a 90-day period. The problem is there's no guarantee that any of this makes it that long. Right, it has to last 60 days. I was in one that lasted 4 days. So, you know, this bankroll will get you 150 million. Oh, we'll get to 150 million. Look, I think bankroll may go beyond 150 million, maybe. I mean, I'm just blown away at how much it's grown. Here's the thing. They've only withdrawn about 13 million Tron, if this is accurate. Don't take this as fact, by the way. But if this is accurate, I mean, that's nothing withdrawn. Nothing. Truce in the build. Thank you, Truce, for the super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Truce in the building. Go check out Truce's channel. I give that guy so much shout outs. I just cannot believe there ain't more people giving his channel some love. I mean, or give him some love for originality. Give him some. Everybody's got to be original in this space. And his mess is good. Just go. You can't search Truce. I tried to give him some advice in one of my videos on promoting his channel, and he didn't listen. You can't search Truce. It won't even come up. But if you go to search and you put Truce Crypto, it'll come up. It'll be the first or second thing that comes up. Or if you can spell Chronicles, you can put Crypto Chronicles, and it should come up if you put Crypto Chronicles in. Oh, that was back a while. Not long after your I might quit YouTube pity party in your car in the rain on a sad, sad day in January. Whatever it was. I was like, Truce, if you're listening, you got to do a couple things, man. Just a couple things. One is you got to start branding Truce a little better on your channel. We'll talk about that another time. If I search Truce, I should be able to find your channel. And it might come up now, but it did come up for me earlier today. The best Tron Dapp at the moment. What do you mean by best? Crypto S? Man, I had other things I want to talk about. I get to talking to you guys. I don't even get to talk to nothing else. Crypto S, when you say the best, how do you define best? That means a lot of things to a lot of people. King Dapp, welcome. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got 46 people in here. Please, by all means, hit that like button. And if you haven't been fortunate enough to subscribe to this channel, or unfortunate enough, then please subscribe now. Trontopia, get out of here. Crypto Greece, get out of here. Profitability and secure. You know what? When it comes to profitability, you need to go talk to your financial advisor. About security, you know, that's hard to say how you define security. I mean, there's one out there, Tron Double. It's supposed to be a secure, but it's just a withdrawal contract. So, I mean, that's not something I would recommend to anyone. So I don't know about profitability and security. Let me tell you, here's how I base the best one. The one that has the best product, and that's going to be Dootron, Tron Do. Dootron. I mean, they've got a product that works, that people can have fun with, that people might be playing for a really long time. That's, you know, it works. I mean, it doesn't need to have mining to it. I think there'll be a certain percentage of people that may be playing this indefinitely, maybe. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'm excited, optimistic about TronCrush, but I think it's going to be insanity. And maybe I'm just, you know what? I think that I'm just interested to see how it plays out. We've had TronBet, we've had 888, and I think TronCrush, I think they got the same flipping devs. I think all three of them are the same devs. I think we're all a part of a live market test where they test different strategies to see what works better before they come out with the main business model. I really do believe that's what's going on. I'm not in Tron Raider. Don't know what Chibi is. I'm not going to be a part of something that's going to start paying out divs supposedly on April Fools. No, sir. Yeah, I'm with you, Cross, but I don't really care if the games work. But the thing is, I'm thinking this is a moon game. This is a poker game that never comes out. What the heck is boxing? Does that ever come out? My challenge, I've got challenges with this. I don't like the UI, but that's minor if the rest of the functionality is there. And people will play. If it's playable, people will play. If it's got the right, you know, enticement, people are going to play regardless of the UI, as long as the UI functions. The thing that I don't like is the only thing they're coming out with this dice. It's probably going to have an auto bet feature, which means it's going to, yeah, it's got an auto, which means everybody's going to mine the absolute dickens out of it. So, I mean, there's things that I don't like, but what I love about it, and I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, like love, love, love. Let's come to the white paper. Well, maybe the Tron Dice devs also created everything else, or they're just ripping off the same mechanics of the games. This is going to be interesting. There's a huge, I think there's a big difference between these wagers. That's going to be interesting. Like, you'll be in level 1 for a while. Well, you'll have to, there's all of a sudden the cost to mine is going to go up significantly. And when that hits an exchange, what's that going to do? I wish they wouldn't put it on the exchange until, I don't think they should put it on the exchange until all the tokens are mined, and then just see what happens. If they did that, I would mine much longer, personally. I would probably mine till like 3, 5, maybe even 6, and then I would wait, and when it went on the exchange, I would save all my divs. When it went on the exchange, I would buy cheap tokens just to have a larger, not because it would be a great return, but to have more coins. So, and I would just start collecting coins as long as the players were playing, and it doesn't got to be at the rate that miners were mining. It's just got to be at a solid rate. That's me personally. Yeah, Alpha 1 doing it. The Crush bonus looks good, and the Mega Jackpot looks good. I mean, this thing right here, I mean, this is like, those of you that know what Proof of Weekends was, I mean, this is like a small version of that. Every 200 TRX puts 10 seconds on the clock. The timer's going to only have 2 minutes on it. When the timer reaches 0, the last person to bet over 200 TRX wins 60% of the Megapot. I mean, that could be interesting for sure. Yes, you can sell your Do on TRX, absolutely. Go over to, it's called KiwiDex. I bought some Do earlier, right here, because I'm not selling nothing at 2.84. I bought some at 2.84. I bought probably right here, right over here, and I bought it right up to about 2.9 earlier. I actually disagree with that, Invisible Coins. I actually think the timer needs to be longer. I wish it was a 5-minute or a 30-minute timer. And the reason is because when bets are slow, you want that jackpot to be as big as possible. Now, we're going to see some mega jackpots, during mining, because nobody's going to watch that jackpot during mining. Nobody cares about it then. When we start mining, it's going to be crazy jackpots. But when it comes to people stop mining and it's just the regular players, it needs to be a 2-minute timer. That's okay. It's fine that it doesn't end. If it doesn't end, it means people just keep playing. Look, it takes Tron about 4 seconds for a transaction to go through. So adding 10 seconds on the clock, people are going to be just, you're going to have to just keep playing to keep adding time to that clock. And that's good for, if you're trying to play for the jackpot, that's good for all the token holders. That's great. That just means it's going to be a great jackpot. And it means anytime it slows down, people are going to, I know what you're saying, but I think that, and you might have a point. I mean, maybe TRX is down to 5. Wow. What is the world? Is that right? That was on Kiwi Dex. Oh, 6.2. Somebody bought that up. I bet there was a chunk bought just then. Yeah, they got bought up. I was like, what in the world? I'm not a fan of Kiwi Dex. I wouldn't use them typically. Oh yeah, 888. Well, invisible coins is fine if people don't feel like they're going to win. No one's going to actually try to win until it gets, to a certain point. You got a little for $5. Ladies and gentlemen, please smash that like button. Hey, let's talk about something real quick. Let's talk about, well, while we're on the subject of crazy dapps, here's one. I'm not in this one because I'm going to launch on Tron Vegas, but there's a link in the description, and I may, after Tron Vegas, I may get into this one. This thing is another withdrawal contract, but since there's no infinity up here, we were just talking about this on the live stream last night. This is the kind of, I was saying, the problem is they're paying out too high percentages. Like when you start paying out 5%, even 4%, Tron Double pays out 4%. I mean, sorry, Black Pearl. And they had all the makings of a good daily ROI contract, or withdrawal contract as I call it. But the problem is 4% just kills the lifespan. Kills the lifespan. It's too much. But last night I was like, it needs to be less than 1%. Like all of these. All of these are less than 1%. Yeah, I know. You see 3.7 and 6.7, you're like, well, you bumped your head. Yeah, but it's still less than 1%. Not one of these are paying out more than 1% because of this right here. Total return is 166. So they're returning your initial investment. Really, all you're making in 45 days. Okay, this is 1%. Sorry, this is over 1%. This is under 1%. This is way under 1%. So they're all under 2%. What you're getting right here is you're getting whatever that is. Maybe it's 1.5 a day. I think that's 1.5. 1 1/3 per day. This is all you're getting. And then you've got to make another deposit. So all people are going to do is keep redepositing. This is the kind of thing that there's 1.9. When I saw this last night or this morning, it was at 900. It's 1.6. I mean now 1.6. This thing here, there's not going to be any really big whales coming in as long as it's at 1 million or so. But this is the kind of thing that people come in eventually and may put in like 5-10 million Tron or more. I mean, this, I'm going to predict it now, will last longer than bankroll and grow larger than bankroll. I'm going to predict it now. You heard it here first. I feel very confident that could happen. Greater than 50% chance, maybe 60% chance. Not financial advice. Don't be dumb enough to take financial advice from somebody on the internet. Absolutely, Danny G. I would be willing to bet a full Bitcoin on it. And the reason is because, the reason I say that is because people are going to keep redepositing. And the longer it lasts, the more people have faith in it lasting. The moment people start seeing bankroll go backwards, the moment it starts going backwards, it's all over with. It's game over. And that's how, I thought it was kind of crazy, but I get it. I mean, it gives faith at the same time to show the contract this prominent. But the moment it starts going backwards, it's over with. It was something that pays out less than 3%, less than 2%. I mean, the best thing that Bankroll has going for it is going to be bank luck, but even that's not going to matter at some point. At some point, there's too many holes in the boat with people withdrawing. I know you think I'm crazy because you guys have heard all the Bankroll Kool-Aid and you're already invested. But the numbers, I mean, one of the reasons BitConnect lasted so long, one of the reasons arbitrage lasted so long is because of they weren't paying out 3%. That's the reason. And they were dishonest in what they were doing, so people had artificial faith in it. But that's not it. By the way, I love this website. If you haven't seen this website, cryptodividend.io, 88Tron, still the top of the list. But I think there's definitely a delay here of a few hours. But nonetheless, this thing, because people are going to keep, here's the thing, the people who win the most are the people who put in one deposit, 45 days later, they pull it out and they never put nothing else in ever, ever, ever. Those are the one who wins. The whale protection will keep it alive longer than stockpile. Invisible coins. Math. The whale protection in this is that whale protection is not needed because you get everything back plus your percentage. It stops. It ends. Bankroll doesn't end. That's why whale protection is needed. That's why, okay, I'll show you Tron Double. Is it here? Oh, that's where we're going to get to. We haven't even got to that yet. Tron Double. So Tron Double. The reason I saw Tron Double, and it's been growing. This has been my favorite one. Up until Bankroll came out, and it was my favorite during Bankroll coming out until I saw Bank Luck. They're going to roll out Bank Luck, and I'm like, there we go. But what I like about Bank Luck is the same thing that I like about this setup right here. Notice the 3.8% for 50 days, 4% for 40 days, 4.4 for 30 days, 5.6 for 20 days. Then there's 3%. Of these, which one's the most profitable? The 3%. The 3% is the most profitable because it's forever. It's 100% forever. Forever. So which means that with this one right here, you put in 5.6%. You get 5.6% back. But that's your principal's coming back. The 100% is what you put in. All you make on it is 12% over 20 days. That's not even 1% a day. But people go in here, and one YouTuber, I heard him say, it don't matter if you get your principal back, just keep reinvesting, just keep reinvesting. Yes, but that means every 20 days, a certain percentage of that reinvestment is no longer earning. At 3%, the only time the 5.6% is better is if you think it's not going to make it to 30 or 40 days. If you think it's going to make it to 40 plus days, the 3% is better all day long. Hey, Gemini, welcome, welcome, welcome. Whale protection is only needed against this. Whale protection is never needed against this because the whales are forced to be done with. They're over with. Whales are great in this example because they have to keep putting back in. They have to continuously keep putting back in. You need whale protection when there's 3%. I'm here to tell you, where did it go? Stockpile, the automatic whale protection, they say it right here, and I thought, wow, that's good. Sustainable. You know I hate that word. This is a withdrawal contract. At some point, it definitely ends. Each investment has an expiration date in a number of days. This means early investors and whales cannot drain the contract, leaving the older investors empty-handed. The contract is designed to last for as long as possible. For as long as possible. So they're not saying forever. Oh, sorry. For as long as possible by eliminating the forever plans, meaning the keep drawing. That's fine, invisible, but the math doesn't dictate. It's great that your feelings feel that way, but our feelings are often liars. Facts never lie. Your feelings might be that it's going to last longer. I'm here to tell you, they got to pay out so much less. They're not even paying out. Bankroll has to figure out how to pay out 3.33% daily. They have to figure out how to pay out like 1%. By that very nature, it's 3 times longer. So good luck with that. Yeah, new Turbo RI is mooning, guys, 10%. It's not going to last more than 60 days. I mean, that's my whole point. 10%. The higher the percentage is, the shorter the lifespan. Absolutely, Truce. Absolutely. Truce is asking, the more contracts get introduced, will it dilute the life of the current ones? Absolutely. The reason P3T lasted so long is because it was the first one. The reason Tron Village lasted so long is because it was the first one to force a 50% reinvest. And the reason that Stockpile may outlast all of them, and I say may because it's got to get some recognition. The reason that it may outlast all of them, and I'm after Tron Vegas, I'm probably gonna throw something into Stockpile, just because there's no reason not to. It's gonna be around for a good while. It doesn't matter if you get nervous in 45 days or 30 days or 20 days, you can get everything back. But here's the thing. Which is the better contract here? The only reason 6.7% is better is if you think it's only going to last 6 days. Because if you do the math, you're getting just under 0.5% there. You're not even getting 1% back a day. So if you think it's only going to last 16 days or 20 days or 30 days, then these are better. If you think it's going to last 60 days or more, then this one's better all day long. All day long. So, I mean, they are eventually going to end, but this is the kind of thing that people can get behind. Invisible coins, you do realize that bank luck, part of what bank luck does is feed the dev constantly. So just keep that in mind. That freaking dev is taking a, what is it, a 2.5 or 5% cut on every transaction constantly, including in the bank luck. I mean, my goodness. Jeremy, I don't know how long bankroll is going to last. I mean, they're doing a good thing with that bank luck. It's going to be interesting. Bank luck, we discussed bank luck ad nauseum last night. Bank luck it is really smart. I mean, what they're trying to do, let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, y'all are going to make me break out the whole paint shop here. Here's where bank luck is brilliant. I mean, brilliant. Oh my goodness, let me see. This is going to be so ugly. I normally do this stuff off camera and have it prepared. So we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do this. And here's you and me. We're over here. Oh, that ain't it. I don't want to do that. Sorry. We are. Here's us. Whoop. That's supposed to be a smiley face. That's Truce. In fact, Truce's smiley. Oh, Truce's smiley face is like this. Oh man, I even messed that up, Truce. So here's what bank luck does. Here's bank luck. And here's bankroll. Here's what's gonna happen. People are gonna, when I say people, I mean most people, not everybody. Divs are gonna come out. They're gonna come over to bank luck. They're gonna gamble their divs. They're gonna lose. Most of what they lose goes back to bankroll, which that's 100% reinvest if they lose it all, minus the 12% that they get back at 3% at a time, which is nothing. Do devs, 88 devs equals 45% dev. That's not even close, invisible coins, not even close. Bank luck is going to do this. People win. When they win, they're going to get their winnings back. And then they're going to take their winnings and they're going to put it back over into bankroll, the starting divs. I mean, that's what's brilliant about it, because most people who are like, you know, I would just withdraw, a lot of people are going to gamble on bank luck, and it's just going to create this circle, and it's going to create the, you know, they're going to, I can't even find where my mouse went over here. Oh, there it is. They're going to kind of keep all the divs in place, so to speak. Now, with that being said, there's still going to be plenty of people over here over time, and over time, there's more and more withdrawing, and they're going to be adding holes to the boat withdrawing. And so eventually, this whole thing just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, no matter how many people try to recycle it. And the people that are hurt are the ones who keep trying to gamble and recycle. Because every person who gets to, everybody gets to a point where they just start withdrawing. Everybody gets to the point where they just start withdrawing. And when they just start withdrawing, all that does is it adds a hole into the contract, and it starts draining. It's like a bathtub or a pool. And the more people who get to withdrawal mode, no, I'm just going to withdraw, I'm just going to withdraw, There's more holes, and it can never get sustained eventually. It can't stay filled. Okay, that's great, invisible coins. The biggest difference in those projects, though, you're talking about casino dApps, man. That's not even the same. The biggest difference is they're serving a player's market, and part of the devs 35% comes from the coins they're getting. They're not getting a different. I mean, the devs in every case they own the same token. In this case, the bankroll dev. Look, I'm not faulting the guy for getting his dev fees. People know what the fees are. People knows what the fees are, so that's not the issue. Invisible coins, I think that bankroll is going to last a little bit of time. I don't know how long it's going to last. It's just going to matter how slow people start withdrawing. That's just the key. When do people start withdrawing? How soon do they start withdrawing? I'm willing to bet you some of these people that had put in 6-figure Tron, 500,000 Tron, and they've actually went public about it, and even the ones that haven't went public, those guys are not reinvesting at a crazy high rate. I mean, they're just not. And I'm willing to bet some of the people who claim to put in 100,000, I'm willing to bet they put in much more than 100,000, and they are not reinvesting all that, because the fastest way to win is to go in and start pulling out. I'll take a slow drains bathtub over getting a swimming pool daily. Yeah, Gemini. That's why stockpile, I think, is going to be here for a very long time. Listen, it's the same reason, those of you who are familiar with arbitrage, P3T is still around, double up, or however you say that. P3T is still around, but it's draining. I wouldn't be going into P3T right now. The biggest reason that like arbitrage is still around is because, those of you that are familiar with that craziness, is because the dev over there has been finding excuses to slow down how much he's paying out so he can make it last longer, because he knows he's not getting anything else added to the pool. Truce, I haven't even entertained 7.7 Tron. I didn't see anything unique or different about it. Period. Yeah, but you know what? That's funny. I heard someone say today, they were like, they came over to bankroll. They were like, I could see this getting to 100 million. Yeah, no, it's not going to get to 100 million. And the reason I know that is because I don't think any of these contracts that have showed theirs, I don't know if any of them's even broke 10,000 yet. I mean, I don't know that we have you got to realize that in this space currently, I have no idea, Alpha 1. That's crazy. And the do divs are looking amazing. How many different dApps are you going to show before bankroll dries up? I don't know, man. Bankroll's, I mean, I'm in bankroll, but it's going to dry up. All of the withdrawal contracts are going to dry up. The thing that you have to realize when you look at how many people's here and it feels like, wow, this could grow so much more. All you have to do is look at 888 on Tron Trade, and all you have to do is look at well, here's an example. We have a very thin market. Look at how much you can move the price just by what amounts to not a lot in US dollar amount. You can move this price a significant amount right now. I mean, like, you could never, for example, I mean, it would take, I don't know, probably millions of dollars to move like a stock market price that much. But a single individual can come in here with, without a ton of actual US dollars and move this market a lot. So it's important to understand, we're talking about, in this space right now, we're talking about a sub-niche of a sub-niche of a sub-niche. Yeah, Truce, I'm with you. I even think that's a high number, 15 to 20,000. All you got to do is look at how quickly Ante and 888 dried up today. Like, what in the world? What happened to those divs? But I was watching 888 today. Let's see if we can go there. 888. What is it? .io? What is it? Shout out to the Cryptotab Browser. Link in the description. Love that thing. Yeah, Big Smoke's right. Smash up that like button. We're over here having some real talk. Um, the come over here to the dividends. So this is nothing, obviously. But what? How many people, like how many hundreds of thousands of people had to quit playing today? Probably not hundreds of thousands. Probably not tens of thousands. You come over here and look at all bets right now. They're not hardly moving. Like, at all. And sometimes, I don't know if you can see it here, this guy Theta, he bet, let's see how many people bet before Theta again. There's Theta again, or however you say that, TTETA. Let's see how long before we see him again. There's Happy Money. There's Happy Money. So there's not many people betting live right now. At all. And even the other day when the divs were up to like a couple million, on the same page, I'd see like 4, 5, 6 of the same people's names. And I'm like, wow. In that time period, this is all the people that are betting. There's not a ton of people betting. Oh, invisible coins, invisible coins. I appreciate you being here. That's not even a logical argument. Right, Truce. There's about 14 people here betting. That's exactly right. The point being is it's a thin market. It doesn't take much to spook the market. Yeah, you're exactly right about that, invisible coins. A lot of people aren't. But the point is, I don't think there's ever, I mean, anytime you come over here, if it's slow enough that you can see names, you'll see some of the same names come up. And when you see a space of like here, and then you come down here and you see the same name again, there's only like 10, 15 people between there betting. That's it. That's it. Maybe they're auto betting. Hey, look at this. There's still people mining on here, by the way. Mining. I think that's kind of interesting. And then there's somebody playing slots. And by the way, there's like 2 or 3 people playing slots. And it's the same addresses. It's crazy. No, there will probably not be zero betting. There'll be somebody betting on one of these platforms. There's always somebody betting. Crypto betting's been going around a long time. The problem is so the point I was making is cryptocurrency is already a small niche compared to the rest of the world. Like we are so ahead of the world because we're actually in cryptocurrency right now. Like we are so far ahead of the rest of the world. Go check out Truce's skit about your friends in cryptocurrency. That is hilarious. My man's at the gas station and his buddy's wanting to be rich. Calls him up on the telephone wanting him to make him rich on Bitcoin. You got to go watch that mess. That's funny. You can't withdraw credits, Tanya. You mean you're talking about up here? You cannot withdraw these. All you can withdraw is this. You just click withdraw and your withdrawal was here. This is all you can withdraw. This never gets withdrawn. This is what you're earning off of. You can only withdraw what's down here. Yep, just withdraw right here. Just be careful. Just be careful in the space, Tanya. And I would recommend you not put nothing else in for a little while. Legitimately. Just keep withdrawing. Just keep withdrawing. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, smash that like button. And thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But it's going to be interesting. The best thing the bankroll did was come up with bank luck because it's a way to have people keep putting their money back in. And then I think it's funny, like if you lose, you get 12% credits. And I think it's hilarious that people are like, that's a really big, people get excited by that. Well, okay, if I lose 100 Tron, I get 12, then I'm going to earn 3.33% off of. And I get your losses add up, but you're earning 3.33% off of 12% of your losses. The biggest part, I mean, for me personally, I was like, just let it all go back into the treasury if that's what you're going to do. Just let it be done. Let it go back into the treasury. Why? Because that makes it last longer. So, it's very interesting. Gemini, my objective is to get 20,000 in each compound to put into one. Okay. Should I smash it and break my keyboard? Danny G, don't break your keyboard, man. Don't break your keyboard. Don't break your keyboard. Crypto space bankroll has about 6 months in it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe so. If it does, I think it'll be about the longest lasting if it makes it to 6 months. P3T, I don't know, what are we in now, March? I think P3T started in November and they had first mover advantage. Or maybe they started in December, so that's about 3-4 months. Maybe 6 months before it starts draining. Here's all you got to do is watch this number right here. That's all that matters. When that number starts slipping backwards, that's all that matters. When you log in one day and there's a million less, you're like, oh crap. And then it may go up again for a while, but then you'll see it go down another million. And eventually you'll see it start going down much faster. Once it starts going backwards, it will start going backwards more often and far faster. That's just how they work. That's just how they work. I think stockpile is going to be the one that goes the longest because they just got to pay out the least. I mean, just on the math, the wild card for bank luck. So here's the thing. The wild card for bankroll is bank luck. Let me get that out of here. I keep pulling that up. The wild card for bankroll is bank luck. But for bankroll to drain slower than stockpile, assuming everybody is smart enough to get in at the 3.7, and they're not going to do it, I promise you. I promise you, 50% of the people or more are going to come over here because all they're going to see is this higher number, and they don't understand the basics of the math that's right in front of them. Stockpile is very new, very new. I'm not even in it yet. I got a link in the description just because I plan to get in it, but don't think for a moment it's not going to end though. Ladies and gentlemen, stockpile is going to end too. There are going to be losers in all these. We're talking about withdrawal dApps. And so it's going to end too. But the 3.7, in order for this to drain at the same rate that bankroll would drain, bank luck would have to, for bank luck to drain as slow as this is going to drain, they would have to convince enough of their participants to gamble. And I mean, they got to get here's what they got. I'm trying to figure out the easy ways to say this. They got to get bank luck to force people to lose or reinvest more than 50%. About 2/3 is what they've got to get people to. That's a huge hurdle if you're trying to compare the two. 2/3. That is huge. But all these end. I mean, my favorite platforms are not these withdrawal contracts because they just end. And they're not. I heard someone say that, they were calling these withdrawal contracts Dapps. And by the definition, they are Dapps, I guess, by the very definition. But I don't know if I would really want to call it a Dapp. I mean, it's not. They're not really servicing any customers. There's really no product. I mean, it's really just one big game. Who can get in? Who can get out? Who gets stuff left holding the bag? It makes total sense, Bitcoin for life. Total sense. Because stockpile is going to outlast bankroll. It makes total sense. Total sense. And I'm in both. But, I mean, I wouldn't have never got into bankroll if I've watched these things come and go for years. And, I mean, the ones who pay like 0.5, 0.7%, 1% a day, some of them things can go on, all depending on how many people eventually get in, but some of them things can go on for more than a year. I mean, I would say the lifespan for a lot of them, if they get popular and people are aware of it, it's more than a year. Here's the thing. If bankroll did not institute bank luck, I don't think it would have made it 6 months. Bank luck, it might take it to 6 months. Might take it longer, depending on how many people are actually gambling. But I got to think at some point, I got to think there's always going to be the degenerate gamblers who gamble it up really, really hard. Always. Those people are going to always exist. But I got to think most people are going to be like, okay, I need to stop withdrawing. I need to stop compounding as soon as it starts slipping backwards. But give them credit for coming up with bank luck. That thing is, I mean, that's going to be sweet. I'm trying to figure out, anybody know the dates of when that comes out? Stockpile. Let me go back to that. That's a good question. It says it's a verified code on TronScan. I don't know what that means. It says it's a verified code. Not that smart. Just because it says it's verified, I wouldn't necessarily take it for granted. Are you going to be able to gamble your bankroll credits you haven't earned yet? Yeah, but you're talking about over the life, and that's a big if. Keep in mind, P3T was the first in this space, so they had first mover advantage, which means there was no dilution at all taking place. So P3T managed to make it, what, 3 months, 4 months? So bank look, if it lasts 6 months, that's awesome. That's awesome if it lasts 6 months. I'm just saying stockpile has the ability to last way longer. And this is the kind of thing that someone could come in and put in, maybe 10 million Tron. People start getting a lot of faith in this thing when they see it lasting and lasting and lasting. But enough about that. Here's the bottom line. Here's what it's important to know. True said it a while ago. True said it best. Everybody starts getting diluted. These are all the same. They're all the same. I was kind of like, I'm so getting burned out on these withdrawal contracts. And me and Bitcoin for Life both last night, we were like, somebody said something about TronCrush, and we're like, yeah, we're spread too thin. Then I get off. All I did was went over here to my freaking Cryptotab browser. I did this. I pulled up, not that, sorry. I pulled up my, I did this. I pulled up, and I was like, TronCrush. Crush, sorry. And I thought, was it TronCrush? Yeah, TronCrush. And I thought, wait a minute, what in the world? And I got to looking, and this website, always ignore this website. This is just an affiliate website. I have people all the time who are like, did you see this article? That's just a guy writing content just for affiliate links. But I was like, Crypto, like I don't think they made an article about 888. And I'm like, somebody's doing some marketing. So I come over here and take a look. I'm like, wow. Because this website has a lot of Tron news on it. I'm like, wow. And I was reading through it, and that was the first thing that caught my eye because I don't think the other two casinos did that good of marketing. And then I saw this mega jackpot, and I was like, finally, something to incentivize players. That's what we need, something to incentivize players. And this sounds better. 888, the jackpot they're going to implement looks really sweet too, but it don't look as like viral as this jackpot. As this jackpot. Where was that? This jackpot. So I was like, wow. The VIP system looks very interesting. And I was like, okay, that's going to cater to players. So then when I pulled it up, I'm like, oh, it's not even live yet. And this is the part that got me, because now I'm thinking about mining it, right? I'm like, can you mine it? Oh, we're going to be able to mine it. Okay. 1.1. Crap. 3 days. I'm not even going to be in the country, and I couldn't handle it. I was like, all right, I'm totally FOMO'd in right now. So I'm like, so I totally, invisible coins, that's fascinating, by the way. I just read what you said about Bank Luck allowing you to gamble your bankroll credits you haven't received yet. That is hilarious. No, that's kind of interesting. People are going to be losing credits they haven't got yet. So they're going to be owing a debt, basically, to the contract. So therefore, they're going to be withdrawing it. That's crazy. Thank you, Big Smoke. I appreciate that. Smash that like button. That's interesting. So I'm going to be over here mining, and this is the biggest reason I haven't done anything with stockpile yet. I'm gonna jump into this thing. I'm gonna mine the heck out of it, and I have links and descriptions to everything below. But if you are gonna show up in my stream and ask how to withdraw your withdrawal credits, I do not recommend that you be in this space at all. Yeah, you know what I did with 888 today on Tron Trade. Oh, that's anti. What I did was I totally bought at 7 today. So I put in a buy order. I went to dinner earlier. I put in a buy for 2,000 at 7, and I put in a sell at 8. It was back here because it was like 8. Maybe it was $8 or 8. I can't remember 8 point. I thought it was 8.5, but it doesn't like it went quite 8.5 unless it just touched and I got lucky and caught the very tip top. But I get back and I got all this extra Tron in my wallet. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because you know your trades are canceled and stuff. And I log into my Tron trade and I'm like, what's going on? And then I scroll down and I'm like, oh my goodness, my other two are got taken. I got a sell order in right now for 11 and 17. I'm like, my goodness. So if I wouldn't have bought more Dootron, I'd have put in another buy order at 7 because he's just keep hitting the 7 mark and just bouncing off of it. And I would have put in another sell at 8.50, because I mean at some point it's a good buy. I can't figure out what. It's kind of fascinating. I think people are almost getting, when True said earlier that people are getting diluted, I think people are just kind of getting a little bit, I don't know if burned out's the right term, but the problem is 888 Tron, they didn't master, and even TronBet, they were both late to appealing to the player. I mean, 888 Tron's just now coming out with a jackpot. Just now. They had a chance to capture the real gamblers during mining. When people wanted to, like Dootron's capturing gamblers. Look, I got a little gamble in me. I was playing Dootron just to play Dootron. Just because it was fun. Heck, I'll play some now. I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to play you know, I got a whole thing on this, I got a whole playlist on my website, on my channel, about Dootron strategy. But I'm going to totally go against that right now. Just somebody, Crypto Games, if you're still here, I think it was you, said this jackpot you saw it go over 1 million. It was 900, was it 900 million or 900,000? 900,000? Maybe it was 900,000. I think you said it was 100,000 or whatever. It was 900,000 last night, maybe 1 million. I don't know what that jackpot was finally. All right, heck, let's go up. Let's see if we can get it. Because the other night it happened. It might not happen now, but it happened a lot the other night. I just flipped. Oh man, I was close. Here's what I was doing the other day. I would flip a card. It hit almost 1.2 million last night before someone hit it. Yeah, you think about that. Somebody got 1 million Tron last night. That's crazy. And see, this jackpot might be why people, because I think a good percentage goes to the jackpot. I could be wrong, but that jackpot, they're going to make it easier to win. So that might incentivize the players to keep playing. Again, it's fun, so it's fun to play, and there's milestones, so that's interesting. The jackpot keeps you playing, but I think the devs are dumping coins to pay divs. I don't know. I'm definitely getting diluted. I can tell you that. I have enough to be able to feel my dilution. I can tell you that much. What I was doing the other night was I would just come up here and I would, you know, this is sort of kind of close to like a 50-50, and I would choose one. See, red, we want red, we want red, we want red. Red, yes, we got red. And then I would like play more normal. I mean, here's the thing. People, you know, someone said earlier, they're like, oh, I don't think, you know, those divs are too high, they're too good to be true. No, they're not. Not when there's more people playing and not when there's far more Tron coming in compared to the current mine tokens. I mean, that's reasonable in the beginning. Now, what happens is you start getting diluted pretty fast. That's what happens. I mean, if all the tokens were mined, none of us would make this kind of divs. None of us, if all the tokens were mined. If you haven't already, gambling paid off for me today on Do. Hey, sometimes it does pay off, Crypto Gang. Sometimes it does, for sure. I'm still thinking about that $1.2 million jackpot. I'm not one to like gamble for jackpots and stuff like that, but I thought, man, that's crazy. Now the ace comes up. Oh, another king. That's crazy. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Not that. Stockpile. Yeah, I think that stockpile is going to be crazy. Potentially. Here's the key. People got to get in it, but it has grown a lot. I mean, last night, look at there it went. Last night it was 9 900,000, and we've already had it at 1.6. And the thing is, it doesn't have to grow very much. They're barely paying out 1% a day. In some cases, they're not even paying that out. So, crypto gangs, wait a minute, you started going low on the 3, 4, and 5 instead of high? They can pay those divs because people are clearly playing crypto disc golf. Listen, I've realized that this is one of the most illogical spaces on the planet. When you can come to Tron Trade right now and realize, well, you ain't got to come to Tron Trade. Just go to 888 and Tron Bet, and you realize that people are, I mean, before maybe they were playing for the Tesla, but it didn't make any sense to see people, whoa, okay, I ain't even got to go there. I'm a fan of 888 Tron because I know people are rational. 888 Tron's house edge is twice that of Tron Bet. Twice. There are people over there gambling on it right now, and the house edge is twice as high. Now, from a business standpoint, that's good. That means they can have half the players. But not only that, it's twice as high with a min bet that is, the minimum bet on 888 is 50. The minimum bet on ante is 10. And people are still over there at 888. I mean, it was crazy. No, when 5 showed up bet low, it worked. That's crazy, crypto gangs. That's crazy. Devs don't pay divs. Players pay the divs. Get the correct people, devs. Don't. Exactly, crypto, see? That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Exactly. So, and that's why I'm interested in, I'm already registered in TronCrush, because I'm like, yeah, if you get players playing, that's the key. None of us are going to make 20%, 10%, 15%, 30% a day unless you get in early. That's the only way it's going to happen. And what should happen in theory is the divs really start going down from there. Like, I think TronCrush, the divs might be sweet very early, but they're going to go down fast because they've already got people in their Telegram. They've got, I mean, mainstream articles written about them, mainstream crypto articles written about them, so people are aware of it. So you got to get in early to get those crazy divs. But speaking of earning, 0.5%, 1% a day, that sort of thing should be able to, ideally, you want to find a project, or at least I want to find a project where that's going to happen for months and months and years, because there's plenty of players playing. And they keep playing, and they want to play because it's fun and it's exciting. And really and truly, I'm excited about TronCrush because of their jackpot model, and they've got 2 different jackpots running, and they got a VIP program that's going to be fascinating. That's going to be really good for the actual players. What I'm not excited about is, outside of those minor tweaks, it's still really boring and kind of ugly. I mean, it's not super exciting yet. Ooh, you just got do it, 2.22. See, that's crazy right there, because you're practically guaranteed. You're guaranteed when dude's at 2 Tron, you're guaranteed to make a 25% profit by buying it. Guaranteed. I bought some earlier at 2.8. I bought all this. I had got down to 30. I had this unfreezing thinking I was going to sell off just a little bit. I wasn't going to sell it at 2 though, and I thought that freaking 24-hour unfreeze got me, and I'm thinking 2.8, I'm buying, and I went and bought 5,600. These ROIs, I don't know how they market. I really don't know how the ROIs market. After 5 years in this space, let me tell you hold. What do you mean by that, BitVentures? You ride it and hold, don't freaking sell till you're in profit again. You talking about on the what are you talking about on the tokens and stuff? The current problem with the casino dApps, in my current opinion, is their referral links down in the description. The dApps, like, I was gonna. You were going to reinvest in Do, but at today's div payout, it takes 20 days to break even. Well, yeah, but if that's how you feel about it, no, it doesn't. No, if you go buy right now, it takes about 3 days to, well, about 4 or 5 days to ROI if the divs stay here. Crypto Disc Golf. I mean, keep in mind, if you're buying Do, someone just said they bought Do. Crypto Gangs, I think, said he bought Do at 2.2. Well, 0.25% Tron, no, that's 8. That's 8 days, I guess. That would be 8 days. 8 to 9 days, 8 to 10 days. So that's not 20 days. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happened to divs tomorrow. And it's going to be interesting. This jackpot, man, it's going to, the way you win it is going to get reset. I don't know if the jackpot itself gets reset. I don't know if any of you know that. I don't think it's going to get reset. What are they going to do? Steal the Tron out of it? I think the way you win it is going to reset, which is going to be easier to win. Yeah, I can show you Tron Village. There's not a whole lot to see on Tron Village. I can't believe this thing's up to 76 million. There's not a whole lot to see on Tron Village. Oh, I can buy a building. I think Tron Village is a little bit sneaky the way they do this thing here. I'll show you. When you go to buy something, they show you your entire balance. It does say overall balance, but the first time or two, if you're not paying attention, you'll use that up, not realizing that you're pulling from both sides. You have to look at what that is and know it going into that screen. I don't necessarily think it's dishonest. I just think it could be clearer. What's the difference in Dootron compared to 888, except the 24-hour freeze, buy anti and hodl? The difference is that it's actually fun to play and you can't auto mine it, and it's more fun to play. I mean, that's the difference. That's the single biggest difference. It's just fun to play. I'm looking at the rounds people went through. 3, 3, 2. I always like to just take a look at the rounds people went through. Yeah, Crypto Disc Golf. See, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons that Tron Village went farther than P3T, is because of that 50% Mando reinvest. Not Dootron. When we were talking about earlier about stockpile, what's interesting about stockpile is if they put up here 1% or whatever that is, 1.1% daily for 45 days, nobody would go in. And then they showed the return at 166, showing you got all your initial investment, but because this 3.77 isn't real. I mean, it's including capital return, right, or investment return. But if they just had 1.1% length 45 days, interest every second, total return 166.5%, people wouldn't find it exciting. But they put this big number up here, still showing that you're including your capital return, so you're not getting a full 3.7%. It's they're playing with the numbers here, but they're not wrong. But it's much higher than it's much better than a 50% reinvest, because it all comes out and you actually have to reinvest 2/3 of it to get the same return back. It's a 2/3 reinvest is what it ends up being. That's why, and what people are going to do in this thing is they're going to know it's slower, so they're going to go in and they're going to like reinvest and reinvest and reinvest and keep adding, because they're going to have faith that it's going to last longer. And then eventually there's probably going to be some whales coming in here. That's just my guesstimate. That's just what I believe. So don't be taking financial advice from me. If you look down in the description, this is all satire. So don't even consider that. 4.7 looks to be the best to you. Okay. Let's break out the calculator. Let's break it out. Okay. So here's all that matters. 41% over 30 days. 66% over 45 days. Because that's what you earn on top of your initial investment. That's all that matters. So let's take the, how was it? 41% divided by 30. That you're getting 1.3% per day profit there. And then over here, 45 divide, sorry, I did that wrong. 66.5 divide 45. 1.47. What was the other one? Nope. 3.7 is better. The other one was 1.36. Did you see what I did there, Crypto Disc Golf? That's the difference. So same thing here, right? 14 in 20 days is not even 1%. 7 in 16 days is not even 1%. Oh, that's fine, Crypto Disc Golf, but these things have lasted, I mean, outside of the one that they just ran away with the website, shut down the website, stole the wallet basically, or withdrew the wallet. Outside of that one, they last a while. I mean, they last more than 20 days. They last longer than a week. That's the thing about these withdrawal contracts. There's, no one's going to go dump stuff on the market and stuff like that, but they're not going to end. They're not real business. I mean, they are going to end. They're not real businesses, but they'll last much longer than 20 days. But, that's my opinion. I mean, we're all entitled to opinion, right? That's what makes us play in this space. We clearly have some sort of tolerance for risk and craziness, or we wouldn't be here. How to deposit TRX into Do. So come to Do. You don't have to deposit anything. All you got to do is have it in your wallet. Once you got it in your wallet, come here and make sure you're signed in here. There's a thing that says log in sometimes. You might have to click that, but that's it. Yeah, but Black Pearl was different. The way you go into these crypto, or the way I do it, is look at the contract and make sure it's a growing contract. And if you're not certain, watch it for a few days and see, does it consistently grow, and does it grow by the percentage that it's paying out? That's another thing. If you see it's growing by 3% a day, then it's probably safer. Put it that way, safer. How much are you going to get out of it? I mean, I'm cutting it close too, by the way, in Black Pearl, and I really like Black Pearl. How much are you getting out of it? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, smash that like button, would you? Let's talk about, let me see, where is it at? Wasn't it? It's not, here we go. Let's talk about Tron Q2 2019, because you know what? Here's the thing, this is a high risk space, and you guys hear me say on my channel all the time, if you don't own Bitcoin, you probably shouldn't be in Tron dApps. And if you want to buy Tron and learn about Tron, that's fine. But you shouldn't be in this space at all, if you don't have some sort of tolerance for risk. Beyond the I'm not your financial advisor, I'm going to tell you this place is full of scams. There are projects that aren't what they seem to be. They're misrepresented sometimes. I mean, you just got to go in with your eyes wide open. But here's the thing. For those of us that are in this space, one of the things that kind of is a win for all of us is Tron developing. And Tron is really incredible. Hey, Crypto Mitch, welcome. Tron is incredible, and the biggest thing about Tron, if you've not played with any of the Steemit dApps or the Ethereum dApps, you might not even realize why Tron is so incredible. But one of the reasons it's incredible, it's known for its speed. I mean, you can come over here, flip a card on Do, and bam, you're ready to freaking start playing. It's crazy. The play's over in like 4 seconds. It literally takes about 4 seconds at the most to complete a transaction on Tron. If you try to do that on like Ethereum, which is the ETH dApp, man, it can take sometimes 2 and 3 minutes. It's crazy. But what else is coming up with Tron? Let's talk about some of this. The challenging nature of the crypto space, especially the market table, seems to be gearing Tron blockchain technology for oh my goodness, I'm live, but I can't see my chat right now. Seems to be gearing Tron blockchain technology for however you say that big word that I'm not too smart, growth that will make it light the end of the tunnel in no time. Misha Lederman, the co-founder of I Am Decentralized, a project representing Tron, in an update disclosed that the Tron Foundation has tabled 4 outstanding developments that would be unleashed in coming weeks and months in the second quarter of the year. Lederman, in the update, listed the 4 developments as followed. This is incredible. BitTorrent speed, institutional-friendly multi-signature and account management, USDT and Tron stablecoin launch on the Tron blockchain, implementing
privacy options for transactions. This is incredible. This is a tweet from him. Why the development is a mover and a shaker for Tron TRX? Well, since independence, Tron TRX has proved its worth in the blockchain space, indicating that while it was still housed in the ERC20 ecosystem, its potential was being overshadowed. However, the imminent developments are seen as a major one for Tron in the following ways. Let me back up for a minute. Since independence, Tron started out as an ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain. So someone said on one of my comments, they said, hey, you said that Tron plagiarized the Ethereum white page. And I had said that because I really did believe that. I mean, I had looked at the similarities. I really did believe that. And what he said was incredible. He said they didn't plagiarize the white page. He said they were originally an ERC20 token. So by the very nature of them being an ERC20 token, they were essentially operating under the same development as Ethereum. So he was saying that's why it appeared to be plagiarism. Now that made sense to me. Hang on 1 minute. That made some sense to me, and it kind of put things in a little bit of a different light based off my understanding. And then I read this article, and it just looked incredible. So BitTorrent speed. From inception, BitTorrent has been identified for its outstanding speed, coupled with the fact that it's able to serve over 100 million users on its platform, no doubt. The speed and user capacity that BitTorrent possesses is one of the reasons Tron acquired the peer-to-peer network, and it has so far displayed its potency. Not to remain moribund, again, another big word I don't understand, Tron is working to enhance the speed of BitTorrent. While Tron is regarded as one of the fastest blockchain network in the space, the introduction of BitTorrent speed would be a major landmark. That's fascinating. I don't even know. The other thing about that I find very fascinating about this is that they're going to start allowing people to use the BitTorrent token, which is a Tron token, a Tron TRC20 token, if I understand it properly. But they're basically going to allow people to use that token to get paid and to be able to earn with. That's incredible. USD stablecoin. Okay, USDT Tron stablecoin imminent project was birthed by the partnership between Tron and Tether. It is a much lauded project that the Tron community seems to be much elated with the move, owing the series of goodies it will add to the Tron blockchain and popularity. Previously reported by today's Gazette, Tron will be in the following four-way benefit immensely from the Tron TRX Tether partnership when TRC20 based USDT tokens is released in Q2 of 2019, which we're coming up in Q2. Liquidity increment on decentralized exchanges, so it's going to be far easier, a lot more liquidity because of Tether. Added storage value for TRX holders, less currency volatility for Tron Dapp users, so you'll be able to basically switch in and out between Tether and Tron, which Tether is just a token that helps you maintain your USD value. It stays pretty close to $1 represented by one USD Tether. Increment in the confidence of institutional investors. By the way, before someone says it, I don't have a ton of faith in Tether. I don't personally use Tether, but there are plenty of people that do. That's why it's interesting. Implementing privacy options for transactions. While one of the major reasons people opted for cryptocurrency is privacy, Tron TRX will soon be joining the League of Privacy Coins by implementing the ZX SNARK protocol. With the position Tron holds in the decentralized sector as a blockchain network, the introduction of privacy protocol would surely be a boost. Institutional, friendly, multi-signature, and account management. Lastly, the multi-signature that will soon go live on the Tron network will help increase the efficiency of the blockchain technology in the space. However, Tron TRX is clear to see moonlight as soon as the four developments are released. Moonlight. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? I didn't say it. They said it. That's huge for all of us. Let me see if I can see what you guys are saying. Check out. Yeah, ETH is the old man at the YMCA. I agree with that. Tron Dapp space is very fast moving. Yeah, it's very fast. Not only the token, the space is fast. I think it might. I don't know if it goes to $1. I don't think it goes to $1 without the overall market going way, way, way up. Personally. Yeah. We talked about TronCrush. I posted a video about it last night, and we talked about it so far on this stream. In order for it to go to $3, we would have to have one heck of a bull run. Like one heck of a bull run. But just because of the market capitalization, just because of the size, the amount of coins that Tron has compared to, I mean, for it to go to, well, let's go look at that. Let's go look at that. Where are we at? Let's go look. Let's go look. Now we'll wait for it to come up. Here we go. Here we go. So there's currently, 66 billion TRX out there, 66 billion circulating supply. So I don't even know if I can do that on a calculator. What would that be? 66. We'll just say 67. 67 times 3. That would be a $201 billion market cap. 200 billion. Currently Bitcoin is at 71 billion. So you're talking about twice the size of Bitcoin. You're talking, the whole market cap is not even at 200 billion. And you're talking about Tron being larger than the current entire size of the market cap of all cryptocurrencies. That may happen. I don't think it happens soon. Like, I think that happens when we start seeing Bitcoin at like 50, 80, 100,000 maybe. And I do believe that Bitcoin's going to get there one day. Again, not investment advice, blah, blah, blah. This is just my opinion. Go read my disclaimer. Entertainment channel, satire. I might be trolling everybody. But seriously, I don't think that's, my opinion is I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. It's not going to happen by itself. I mean, if Tron just went up like, if Tron just went to like 20 cents right now, just 20 cents, it would be at a $10 billion market cap, which would have it up here, just under XRP and over Litecoin. Litecoin's only at 3 billion. It would be 3 times bigger than Litecoin. I don't know that it's going to get to 20 cents. Here's the problem. They've got to have much better dApps on the blockchain. The gambling dApps are good. The withdrawal dApps suck for adoption. They are never going to be popular by most people because they're basically Ponzi schemes. I didn't say scams. They're only a scam if they misrepresent what they're doing. But it's a Ponzi type scheme. They're only profitable as long as people keep putting money in, or as long as they find a way to get people to be entertained and they choose to keep putting money in, like Bank Luck, for example. So those are the only ways that happens. Hang on, I'm about to bring back up my my phone that I used died on me. I had it plugged in, but it still died. So I plugged it in somewhere else with a better charger, so I could see your great comments. Smash that like button. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. But they're going to have to get much better dApps overall. And the casino dApps aren't going to be enough. But before they may help. But the casino dApps are only going to help if they become much higher quality. I mean, TronCrush has taken a small step in the right direction, provided they launch and they work without a hitch. They don't pull a Trontopia by finding ways to incentivize the player. But they have to first focus on incentivizing the player. Screw incentivizing mining. Mining will take care of itself. Dividends will take care of itself as long as the player's taken care of. And that's the thing. They've got to create a real business like that. And there's got to be more dApps that offer a utility function that people, in other words, the cool thing about some of these dApps, like for me, for example, maybe some of you, I found out about Tron because of another project. And I was like, okay, let me get some Tron. And when I got some Tron, then I started looking at what can I do with my Tron. And that's when I started figuring everything out. You'd be happy with one Tron. What do you mean? Oh, $1 Tron? Yeah, no kidding. Who wouldn't be? So the thing is that for me, like I ended up getting into the casino dApps, and really it was 888 that really Ante I messed around with, but I didn't mind Ante. I just bought the Ante token because I thought, make 1 or 2 or 3% a day on a business model, not a withdrawal smart contract that ultimately ends, but a business model that could have legs if it was run right and could last for a while. I'll buy that token. I wasn't trying to play any, but I'll buy the token. And then 888 came out, and I started mining it because you couldn't buy the token, and the divs were better, so it was worth mining. And then I started mining it, and I saw how fast the transactions were happening, and I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't really realize how fast. I had sent Tron back and forth, but I had not really watched it do one transaction at a time, or one function or whatever you want to call it at a time. It was like bam, bam, bam. I remember I had a buddy on the phone who was familiar with Ethereum dApps. I said, hey, look at this. And I did a screen share so he could see how quickly the transactions were happening. He was like, oh my goodness. I mean, it was like a light bulb. And both of us were like anti-Tron. And he was like, wow. And then it was like, well, you can't argue. It works. Like, it just works. You can't argue that. So they're going to have to create dApps. In order for Tron to really rise hard, they're ultimately going to have to create dApps that people who currently don't own Tron want to be able to use the dApp for some reason, that they end up owning Tron to get access to the dApp. BitTorrent goes in that direction, but the problem is they create their own BitTorrent token. It goes kind of in that direction, and maybe in some way BitTorrent helps lead to more Tron adoption. But the cool thing about the BitTorrent token, and the reason I don't sell mine and I hold on to them, is because eventually there's going to be a use case for that, and that use case is going to be more of a general market. And what I like most is that use case is going to apply to people who currently are not cryptocurrency users. That's the key. When a cryptocurrency can create a project that a non-cryptocurrency user will want to learn about the cryptocurrency because it wants to use the particular project. That's what has to happen in this space. That's what we need. And so the BitTorrent token is going to do that to some degree. The best part is the BitTorrent users, a lot of them are millennials. Millennials all the way up to probably their 30s is like the bulk of the users, which happens to also be the heaviest adopters. The largest amount of early adopters in cryptocurrency are in that same age bracket. So that's phenomenal for adoption. But more cryptocurrencies need to do stuff like that, and Tron needs to do more of that ultimately, I think. That's interesting, Crypto Golf. So how did you get it? You bought Tron just because of the movie? I'm with you, Gemini, on using BitTorrent back in the day. Rashawn, you're optimistic. What was it selling for when you bought it on Binance? Are you telling me you literally purchased Tron because of the movie? That was your only reason at the time, because it was cheap in the movie? Wait, someone just won a jackpot at Dude? Wow, they sure did. Ooh. Someone just won the jackpot. That's crazy. Good job. Man. Sorry, I'm just reading through the comments. Half a cent. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Crypto Gangs, on the jackpot. That's the thing. It's player do is the most player focused so far of any casino game or Dapp out there, and it's not just it's not a knockoff dice game. I have a Tron movie stamped disc golf disc for over 10 years. Yours, well, I mean, your name is Crypto Disc Golf. You take that disc golf thing serious. You're like a professional disc golf player. What's the deal? Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button if you haven't already. Please be sure to subscribe. I saw Tron for the first time at 0.18, but I always buy on a pullback, and it literally didn't pull back from 0.18 all the way to 0.28, and then I started buying it. It pulled back to 0.25, and I bought it, and then it pulled back to 0.23, and I bought. Oh, good for you, disc golf. I've barely ever played disc golf and thought it was so fascinating. I didn't even know it was a thing. What needs a rebrand? Tron? I mean, I think Tron's solid already. I don't think they need to worry about rebranding at this point. Not now. Ladies and gentlemen, everything we've discussed tonight, for the most part, there's links in the description. Just be mindful. I mean, everything's high risk. Everything's high risk. You know, if it comes to the casino dapps, I don't care how FOMO-y you feel about TronCrush. You know, don't be messing around with it. If it's illegal for you to mess with casino dapps in your area, be mindful of regulations. You know, that sort of thing. I don't encourage no one to break the law. But the withdrawal contracts all end. Just be mindful of that. Stockpile, they all end. Bankroll, they all end. They all end. You know, they're all designed to end. They're always draining. They're always draining. And that's as soon as people stop putting money in, they drain. Just be mindful. Just be careful of that. Just know that. And as long as you know it, it's high risk. It's not high risk. It's high risk. Yeah, it's very, very high risk. You know that. I mean, 100 Tron. You know, it's like $2, $3, and I see people coming in with 100 Tron, whatever. What's 1,000? What's 1,000 Tron? A little over, I guess $23, $24 right now, $22 USD. But just be careful. Be mindful in this space. Never risk more than you're willing to lose. Just know, and nothing's ever as it seems. Like, I was in one of these withdrawal contracts. It looked pretty solid. It looked pretty fun. And it's the only one that did this, but you never know. I mean, I put 10,000 Tron in it, or maybe 15,000 Tron, and I was kind of excited. It was early, and literally, the website just disappeared, which would be fine. There's still a smart contract. I can do enough research to figure out how to get to the smart contract to be able to withdraw. But they actually drained the account. The contract wasn't verified, and they were able to literally drain the account. If the contract's properly verified, then there's ways they can switch that off when they write the code, and they can't undo that part about the code. That's what's cool about smart contracts. If they're verified and they're done properly, no one can mess with the code. They can't change it up like that. But unless you are that technical and you know that for sure, and you can review the code, then you're taking a risk. So just be mindful, just be careful. I talked about all the reasons I thought, I personally think that stockpile could go on like for a really long time, as long as they got popular, they continue to grow the rate they were. But this code says it's verified. I have no way to fully know if it's verified. That's not my deal. I mean, I do not know that. The websites always look, kind of good and reassuring, but you just don't ever know about this space. Just be careful. I'm excited mostly by like TronCrush and 888 and Dootron, things that are creating like businesses. Dootron's the thing I'm most excited about. I just want to see what happens with it outside of mining. Do people keep playing it? Are we going to be able to get like 0.2, 0.5, 0.7, 0.8% divs? Is that going to be possible? I don't know if it's possible, but it's going to be fascinating to see. It's going to be fascinating to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. It's been real fun. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that like button. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't ever hesitate to leave a comment in the comments. I try to respond to you all as much as I can. I'm going to be traveling over the next week, but I may do a live stream if I have good enough internet. If not, I may put up a video or two. Whether you see me do it or not, just know I am going to try to go into TronCrush, and I'll try to get up a video and let you know how that goes if I'm able to do it, because I don't know what my internet's going to be like. And so if I get in there, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to mine. I know I'm going to get in there. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to actually mine. Yeah, crypto disc golf. It's really good to spread yourself out. That's true. TronCrush comes out. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Sorry. TronCrush. Hit that subscribe button in 3 days. In 3 days. And is that 42 minutes? So are they really going to do that to us? Or are they going to launch in 42 minutes? Oh, midnight. Okay. They're going to launch at midnight. Okay. In 3 days. So what is that? 23rd, 24th, 25th on Monday. I think that's when it's supposed to be, 25th. No, yeah, 25th, but it's midnight, so it would really be the 26th. That's midnight. That's Eastern time, my time zone. That's going to be crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, just be careful in this space. I mean, it's going to be exciting, but I think this one's going to go quick and fast. Like, quick and fast. Wow. And there's going to be some FOMO. They got this whole on-the-chain thing, which no one else has had. They got this, they're talking about, they're making fairness to be a big deal. It's going to be interesting. My favorite thing for sure is the bonuses, the jackpots, and the VIP program. They're at least focusing on the players. I got links in the description for all this stuff, but just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. It's a high-risk space. I don't really recommend unless you have that kind of appetite. Not only don't risk more than you can lose, don't risk anything. Just sit back and watch if you don't feel like you can be a part of this. Like if you I mean, it's an emotional ride. It's fun, but it's an emotional ride. And it's exciting, but it's an emotional ride. And not everybody's into that sort of thing. And you will lose money in this space, or at least money in Tron value, because Tron has a value. You will lose Tron in this space if you're not careful. A lot of people like to try to put in a lot of different projects and kind of roll the dice. You know what? The crazy thing is in this Dapp space, it's like we're all kind of gambling a little bit. I do like getting the tokens for Tron, and I own, still own about 8,000 tokens in Tron Bet. I'm gonna buy some anti-tokens just because I think some casino somewhere is gonna make it. Somebody's gonna figure it out, and I want to be a part of that project when it happens. I want to be on the ground floor of a cryptocurrency project that becomes so good that people want to get into cryptocurrency just so they can play in that, meaning like not because they want to own the tokens. They want to get into cryptocurrency because they want to use the utilitarian function of the tokens. Like, man, I heard about that TronCrush casino. I want to get into cryptocurrency just so I can play at the TronCrush casino. That's not going to happen with TronCrush. It's not going to be that good yet. But I think over time, evolution, either another player or one of these two players might get there one day. That's my hope, because I think that would go a long way. It encourages adoption, right? It encourages adoption in this space. But thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Stay safe. Whatever you do, stay safe out there. Have a great morning whenever you're watching this. If you're watching the replay, it's been fun. It's been real fun. I'll be back soon.